Okay, we're going to solve compound inequalities. So first thing today is you're going to solve the one on the left and solve the one on the right. Okay, so on the right side, quick one-step equations. Add 4 to each side. That cancels, so I have x is less than -3. And then on the other side, I'm going to divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 6. Okay. And now, when we go to graph, we have an open circle on -3. And which way does my arrow point for that? The x value is less than -3. Left. So I'm going to go this way. And then I have a closed circle on 6. And that's x value is greater than 6, so that goes to the right. Now the biggest thing today is writing in an interval notation. So if they go opposite directions, you're going to need 2 of them. So as I work left to right, the first thing I come to is an arrow, right? So the first thing I come to left to right is an arrow, that's -infinity. So -infinity. And we always put a parenthesis around infinity, positive or negative. The next thing I come to is -3. Now that's an open circle, so that's a parenthesis. And then we do a u. We're going to have 2. Now, as I'm going left to right, the next thing I come to is 6. And that's a bracket because it's a closed circle. Comma. Arrow, so that's positive infinity. Okay, let's jump down to number 3. Two-step equations. Same process we've been doing. Subtract 9 from each side. So 2x is greater than 8. Divide each side by 2. X is greater than 4. Subtract 10 from each side on this one. 5x is less than 0. And that's okay. That's a common thing that throws you guys off. You want to stop there and put no solution, but 10 minus 10 is 0, right? And we can divide by 5. So x is less than 0, because 0 divided by anything is 0. So x is greater than 4, or x is less than 0. So we need open circles on 4 and 0. X is less than 0, so my arrow goes left, and x is greater than 4, so that arrow goes right. Interval notation, so as I work left to right, I get to -infinity, parenthesis, comma, 0, parenthesis, because it's an open circle, so I have a parenthesis, not a bracket. Use the u, parenthesis 4, and then infinity. Okay, let's do number 5 really quick. So we subtract 3 from each side. So -6x is less than -18, or I'll just finish solving this one. Divide each side by -6. So x, now I'm dividing by a negative, so the sign needs to flip. We can finish solving this one. Subtract 1 from each side. So -x is greater than or equal to 4. Divide each side by -1 now. Now this sign flips, so x is less than or equal to -4. So now I need to go to -4 and 3. Close circle on -4. Open circle on 3. X is greater than 3, so that goes to the right. And x is less than or equal to -4, so that goes to the left. Interval notation, go left to right. So, -infinity, comma, then I get to -4 with a bracket because it's a closed circle. Next thing I get to is 3 with the parenthesis, and then positive infinity. Okay, turn your notes over. Now notice there's no or statement here. These are and graphs. Okay? So, your goal is to get the middle x by itself. Okay, so you subtract 4 from each side. Whatever you do from the middle, you do to either side. Okay, so -2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 5. When x is by itself in the middle, you're done. So now I need what kind of circle on -2? Closed circle on -2. So go to -2 and put a closed circle. And then what kind of circle on the 5? Open circle. So notice x is greater than -2, so that would be to the right, but less and less than 5. So it's the space in between that is your solution. Interval notation, work left to right. So the first thing that I get to is -2. Parenthesis or bracket? Bracket. Next thing I get to is 5. Parenthesis. Okay, let's jump down to number 10. This will be the last one. So when you have a compound inequality in this form, you need to get the x by itself in the middle. So first thing you're going to do is subtract 1 from each side. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, divide each side by 4. We're not done until x is by itself. So now 0 less than x, which is less than or equal to 3. What do you think I'd do if I divided by a -4 here, if I ended up having to divide? Flip both signs, yep. Okay. Okay, so come over here, and then I need an open circle on 3, or I mean on 0, and a closed circle on 3. Bigger than 0, less than 3, so the space in between is what I shade. And then interval notation. So first thing I get to is 0 with an open circle. So that's a parenthesis. And then 3 with a bracket.